All right, seeing that it's 2 o'clock and we currently have a quorum, let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the meeting to order and commence with roll call. Ruben.
Member Macias,
Present.
member Ramirez, member Merrick,
Present.
member or alternate member Duran,
Present.
member McKillop, member Hernandez,
Present.
member Kuda Fuller, member Candara,
Present.
member Tweets.
Present.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any guests who would like to introduce themselves? All right, seeing none. Item 2, public comments on matters not on the agenda. All right, seeing none, let's move forward with the consent agenda, the approval of the minutes from March 26. That were emailed out, and I'm sure by now everybody's read them once or twice. If there is a motion to approve it,
So moved. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Motion passes. All right, membership recruitment, Christy.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Christy Sagabo, Mobility Services Manager. The memo attachment is to recommend to the MST Board of Directors the reappointment of Leticia Garcia for a 3-year term. So few of the membership here is familiar with Leticia Garcia. Originally, she was a member, but back in January had notified us that due to conflicts in her schedule, she wasn't able to continue. But as we continue to reach out for membership representing Carmel or Carmel Foundation, Jessica and Jessica reached out to as Amy as well, member Amy Kuda and Jessica McKillop reached out to Carmel Foundation to talk about the importance of representation in transportation. So after all that conversation that took place, Leticia reached out back to us and decided to come back and be a member again. We did invite her to attend today via in person or virtually, but I don't see her on here. But the recommendation is to reappoint her to the committee. The Mobility Advisory Committee is membership is an appointment by the MST board and makes recommendation to MST staff and the board regarding the transportation needs of seniors, veterans, persons with disabilities, low income, youth, and isolated populations. The committee acts as a liaison between MST and these communities to ensure their constituents and clients have input into the MST service planning process. And according to the MEC bylaws, membership of the committee shall consist of individuals chosen to represent key elements of the community, of which everyone here represents the disabled community, the elderly, social services, veterans, and healthcare agencies, and also to comply with the Transportation Development Act requirement of for the Social Services Transportation Advisory Council membership with TAMC. The requirement is that one representative of a potential transit user who is 60 years of age or older, one representative of a potential transit user who is disabled, two representative of the local service provider for seniors, including one representative of social transportation provider, if one exists, and then one representative of local social services provider for persons of limited means, two representative from a local consolidated transportation service agency designated in pursuant to the subdivision of section 15975 of the government code, if one exists, including one representative from an operator if one exists. Additionally, the bylaws of the committee call for a staggering of members' terms so that so far as possible, 1/3 of appointments expire each year. Members shall be eligible for reappointment. So your committee's membership reappointment recommendation for Leticia would fill one position to the vacancy on the Mobility Advisory Committee, and that puts membership at 10 once Leticia is approved into the committee. So I don't think she is joining. Yeah, so she's not here to speak for herself, but we will definitely let her know what your recommendation would be moving forward.
And she fills that representative position for seniors.
Yes.
Okay, good. That would be our 2 then for that program. And when she is confirmed, when would her official start be? At the next meeting?
So her recommendation so it would be the next meeting, which is July.
In
Like-
July, okay.
I'm sorry. Oh, she's online now, so we'll go ahead and allow her to speak on her behalf of her interest to get reappointed to the committee.
Absolutely. Leticia, you have the floor.
Hi, thank you for appointing me and accepting me to be part of the Mobility Advisory Committee. I understand the importance of being part of this important program, so that's all I want to say. Is there anything else I need to be saying?
It's good to have you back.
Thank you, thank you.
So this is an action item, so you need to vote.
Does it require approval then or a motion? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we send forward the approval for Leticia Garcia for our committee.
I'll make the second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Or abstain? All right, welcome back.
Thank you. I promise to speak more this time.
All right, and then on to item 5.2, certificates of appreciation, both for Maria Madania, also Diana Jimenez. And I do not see Maria in the audience, but I see Red Cross representatives who may be accepting on her behalf.
If she doesn't make it, then yeah, we'll be happy.
Oh, okay, so she's coming, she's just, okay. Can we then skip to item 5.1 presentations and then circle back with recognition and appreciation? All right, let's go ahead and do that. So, Aaron, unmet transit needs.
Yes, so for those of you who have seen me speak about this in past meetings, TAMC in partnership with MSP does an unmet transit needs hearing process at the beginning of every year. I came to speak about it, and we held a public hearing at our March meeting, and we have one here at the Mobility Advisory Committee, and then in February we had one at the TAMC Board of Directors meeting. And it's an opportunity for folks to come and speak about any unmet needs that they think are the current MST network lacks, or not MST, but just the current general transit network lacks. And the comment period of that ended on April 17th. We did receive one comment, and with the comments for that we work with MST to update our running unmet transit needs list, which is attached to this item on the agenda. And we reviewed the past unmet needs that have not been met, that are more as long-term improvements. And then from that list, we determine if any of them have been resolved to that point. So in this year's list, we with working with MST, we did resolve some needs such as um MST being able to add more night service on line 41, the Salinas Alsa Northridge corridor. And also, in addition, improving the connections. We've had lists, or we had needs from like way back, going to like maybe 2018 and even earlier years. And we were able to complete one of those older needs, which was to improve the connection between Castro and Prunedale to access Gavin College in Gilroy. And that's thanks to the implementation of Line 59. So those are just some of the things that we review with MST staff for our mid-transit needs process. And just to report to the group also, our comment that we received this year, it was regarding a lack of service after hour service for fixed schedule bus routes, where the individual in this case had an instance where I guess their bus never came to their scheduled stop, so they had no alternative option to go. And after reviewing with MST staff, we didn't consider this one as a long-term unmet transit need, or that would require long-term improvements. Otherwise, it being met already, given that this circumstance, since this took place in I believe it was in Carmel Valley, the current service that could provide it is the taxi service through the taxi voucher program. So we'll follow up with that individual, notifying them that that service is there present to them, as well as other services in that area. So with that, I'm open to any questions on the list, the process. And then just to add on, we do take this list. So this is actually, I think, the first time in a while that I've actually brought back the list to the MAC, because in past meetings, the usually the meeting's been canceled. So once after today, this goes to the TAMC board to accept the final list as part of our annual Transit Development Act requirements. So, yes.
Keeps you busy.
Yes, definitely.
All right, any questions for Aaron? All right. Then Christy or Ruben, do you know if Diana Jimenez is coming or?
I did invite her to attend today, but she's busy, so I don't think she'll be showing up nor joining during virtual.
Okay,
But we'll definitely get her certificate out for her.
okay, good. Well, let's then backtrack to the certificate of appreciation for Maria Magana.
Sure.
Hi, me.
If you'd like to say a few words, and then we'll take a few photos and.
Oh, geez. As you all know, I love being highlighted. Well, I want to say thank you very much for the recognition. I wasn't aware that this could be something after the fact. But more than anything else, I appreciate the time sharing with you all, knowing that we're truly making an impact in our community for the most vulnerable, which we all represent. So I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And my apologies for the delay.
No. And I just want to say a few words. Maria, it's been a pleasure working with you all these years. I mean, since how many terms has it been? Like 3 terms? 3, yeah.
Give or take.
Give or take. And definitely you're welcome to join as a representative of the Red Cross if your time permits, but I know you're so busy. But I appreciate all the work you do, and hopefully transportation continues to be part of your advocacy as you go out there and do the work you do for the Red Cross.
Most definitely, as we all know, that transportation is the access to almost everything and anything. And so that's one of the key things for the MAC program is to create that, to take away the barriers and to create the access for program services and overall a healthy lifestyle for everyone. So yeah.
Thank you. Chair? Yes. Oh, our marketing person's not here today. But my camera is good enough. Thank you.
Thank you for the tilly on the end. It's very much taken away. Yes.
1, 2, and 3. Norm, to both of you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Thank you, today. Thank you, sir.
See you.
1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, of course.
And then let's finish the presentations with the Monterey County Civil Rights Office. Natalie?
And Christy, there, okay, it's already there. I have my laptop with notes. Try to do it this way. So I'm Natalie Alfaro Frazier, and I am an analyst with the County of Monterey Civil Rights Office. One of the activities of our office is that we oversee 2 commissions, one of which is the Commission on Disabilities. The other commission is the commission, it's the Equal Opportunity and Civil Rights Advisory Commission. Much longer name. But so today I'm here to talk to all of you about our Commission on Disabilities. Christy used to sit on the Commission on Disabilities and her spot is currently vacant. And we actually have a lot of vacancies overall. And so in part, I'm here to share about the Commission on Disabilities, but this is also a little bit of a pitch because we are hoping to fill these vacancies. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. So we can go on to the next slide. So the purpose of the Commission on Disabilities is it reviews and advises the County of Monterey Board of Supervisors regarding matters relating to equal access to employment, public services, communications, and public accommodations for people with disabilities. The commission is currently actually undergoing a revision of their bylaws at the moment. But it seems as though in that this purpose seems to still be the guiding star. They're not looking to change that. But really to focus in on some key things that they want to make sure is communicated to the Board of Supervisors to move into some action that we can start to see happen. So the Commission on Disability also serves people with disabilities in Monterey County, such as those with sight, hearing, mobility, and cognitive impairment. As I said, right now, our commission, I think we have like 4 commissioners. We could have up to 35. And so we have a ton of vacancies. Many of those vacancies is just because people's terms either ran out or they moved out of the jurisdiction that they were representing. And so we are lean right now, but like I said, we're reviewing the bylaws. We're looking at how to repurpose and refocus. Next slide. And here is the bit about membership. So the commission is composed of representatives appointed by each member of the Board of Supervisors. So that would be 5 members that are from each of those 5 districts. One from each of those 5 districts. Representatives appointed by cities within Monterey County. So not only does each district have a representative, but each city. Reason this is particularly important, right, is that the county represents unincorporated areas, which doesn't generally, there's sometimes a little bit of that gap that happens with the communication with cities. So we have appointees by city that we ask the mayors to appoint. And then we also have representatives from various community-based organizations located in Monterey County. That's where MST fit. But really, we just, the way that the Commission on Disabilities is looking at it now is who is interested in being there and how can we get that organization to be one of the approved organizations to be on that list to have a seat at the table. So as I said, we have about 4 or 5 commissioners at this time, 2 of which are county employees, one representing the department heads and another representing housing and community development. So we are definitely looking for more community input to fill some of those vacancies. We can go on to the next slide. And so then, as I said, we have a representative from the County of Monterey Department Head Council. So right now that is Hillary Thayer from Libraries, and the Director of Housing and Community Development has assigned a designee to be on the commission. We can go into the next slide. So the terms of office right now, representatives appointed by the Board of Supervisors shall serve at the pleasure of their appointment body. So, and then all other representatives shall serve 3-year terms and not more than a maximum of 6 consecutive years. So that's what we're looking at as far as timeline. Also, why we have some gaps right now is that some terms just ended. You can go to the next slide. And then for the staff, the commission is staffed, as I said, from the county civil rights office. Our office is a little bit different than the other departments in the county. The county structure is Board of Supervisors, the CAO, and then the rest of the departments. Civil rights office, actually, we report directly to the Board of Supervisors, so we're parallel to the rest of the structure. This gives us a different type of access to the Board of Supervisors because we report directly to them. It kind of takes out that middleman of the CAO office. There's various reasons for that. Our office also does workplace investigations based on non-discrimination policy, reasonable accommodation, and some other things. So by putting us to this side, it allows for some checks and balances to occur. But it also puts our commissions in a little bit of a different space than some of the other commissions where we're speaking a little bit more directly to some of the Board of Supervisors. We're a small office, a staff of 5. We have 3 analysts, and then our civil rights office, Juan Rodriguez, and then we have an admin secretary. We can go to the next slide. So our meetings are every other month on the last Monday. At 2 p.m. over at our office in Salinas, at the Schilling Government Center. So it's over there by Taylor Farms. That has been the standing meeting for a long time now. I don't see it changing anytime soon, but it is also a public meeting. So if anyone is interested in maybe joining or may know someone that is interested in joining, it's also accessible over Zoom, where you can come in person and see what we're talking about and where we're going with the commission. Next slide. So that's all that I have about kind of the basics of the Commission on Disabilities. Christy, thank you for inviting us to come and talk. As I said, we are really bare bones right now and are very much hoping to fill that commission, especially because some of the changes that are happening on all sorts of level of government right now, the more advocacy that we can get for the community that is impacted by disabilities. One of our commissioners used to say, if you don't have a disability now, you've either had one in the past or you'll have one in the future at some point, even if it's temporary or permanent. It's something that truly impacts all of us. And so we feel as though this is a very important commission that just is understaffed, right, or underrepresented right now, and we're hoping to fill that. So thank you for inviting us. I don't know, Christy, if there was anything else you wanted me to add to any of that, but Christy served with us for
2 terms.
2 terms, yeah. And we miss her very much, but we are hoping, to start to fill some of those gaps back in.
So for example, if the Blind and Visually Impaired Center myself wanted to join, what would be the process for that?
Yeah, so go ahead and contact our office directly. We have our email address up here. Whether it's Ruby, our admin, or just the Civil Rights Office email address. And it is by appointment. So if you are being appointed by an organization, that organization would send basically a letter of support over to our office. And then our office sends that over to the Board of Supervisors. So technically, the Board of Supervisors ends up approving and appointing all of the individuals, but that is often by way of the organization or community that they're representing. And then, as I said, 5 folks on the commission are appointed directly by their supervisor, based on supervisory districts. So, yes, or if you're interested, contact us and we'll help you through the process. It's a pretty straightforward and streamlined process. And the Board of Supervisors generally will just approve kind of whoever we've vetted already.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to add, it is a sworn position, so you do take the oath as well.
Yes.
But I would say it's a great commission to be part of. So as part of this committee membership, where we advocate for transportation or mobility for persons with disabilities, being part of the commission allowed me to work with other individuals that are outside the scope of the work that I do, and being able to recognize what other areas of persons with disabilities that are in need of support. So I definitely would vouch for the commission and say, you know, if your time allows, look into it, consider it. Ruben can send out the email, your contact email
Yeah.
to membership, and that way you can reach out directly to them.
Yeah. And something I didn't mention as far as time, it is every other month, which I said, but the meetings are generally about 2 hours a month. And not too much work in between those. Quite a bit of the work gets done within those meetings. There are occasionally ad hoc committees working on different things, like visiting the bylaws, or going and representing the commission at, this is something that they are, hopefully I can say this, they haven't passed this yet in the new bylaws, but where they're, part of where they're going is to better connect with other committees, commissions, and groups in the area to start to build some of those bridges. So yes, a representative from this committee would be well welcomed. Great.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, on to reports and information items 6, David.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm David Cox, I'm the general manager of MV Transportation. Just to give you a review on how we've been operating the last couple of months. First slide you see here is our trips by purpose that our drivers, MV has handled. As you can see, gives a good breakdown as far as the reasons for our passengers and what they're using the services for, mainly for education, medical, and just personal and recreational needs, but several others for employment and dialysis as well. And if you go to the next slide, we also utilize Yellow Cab as an overflow for us to help us out. And this kind of breaks it down as well. It's similar to the MV Rides breakdown with the reasons or the needs for our passengers, you know, with personal, recreational, education, and dialysis and employment here. And if we go to the next slide. Okay, and so this is our slide shows how our rides trips have increased and our passenger clientele has increased over year. As you can see, Each year we've gone up. The increase in demand for our trips by passengers has increased, which is a good thing. We're the people out there utilizing our services, and yes, it's a good graph to show you how it has increased, like I said, year over year. So if we can go to the next slide. Okay, this next one here, the top portion of this slide indicates, our passengers per hour, like how many passengers we carry, and our buses per hour. Our contract standard is 1.87. We're just falling short of that over the last couple of months, 1.84 last month and 1.78 in March, but we're just about there. But like I said, just about there. And so those are good numbers for us right there. On-time performance on the bottom portion of this, we're doing really well at the end of 2024, started this year, in February. We have dipped quite a bit. We unfortunately lost 8 drivers since the beginning of January for various reasons that have took a toll on our performance in that regard. You see with the increase of passengers and rides trips being scheduled, and with the loss of drivers, it really has put a strain on that. But we're trying to work around that and balance our scheduling the best way we possibly can to still ensure the timely on-time performance for our passengers. If we go to the next slide. This slide here just shows you our call hold times for our dispatch. It's not quite where I'd like it to be. The time in between calls, the wrap-up time that our dispatchers are using is still greater than expected. The wait times for our customers is still too long. We are fully staffed right now on our dispatch unit, but we are working on that on a daily basis to train and educate our dispatchers to wrap up that call a lot quicker than that they're doing right now to avoid long hold times. And if you can go to the next slide. And this one here, this depicts, our the amount of passengers we've carried in between service complaints. We took a big hit in the month of April. A lot of that has to do with the loss of drivers, and it's various complaints. A lot of it has to do with late arrival times and to the customer's house or to their location that they need to be at. So this one, yeah, as you can see, we're in the last 2 months, February, March, we're doing great, and then just took a big hit in April. So we'd like to see that turn around in the month of May as we move into the middle of the year and into the summer months. And that is our last slide that I have. Any questions on anything?
Are you working to rehire the 8 driver positions?
Well, we are, but currently, if you don't know, we're transitioning from MV Transportation to Transdev at the end of June on the 30th, or on July 1st, there's gonna be a transition. I know Transdev is in the process of onboarding all the current MV drivers right now, and plus having opening onboarding sessions for the public. So yes, they are looking to restaff and get that fully loaded up again, ready to go. Hoping for a smooth transition so a lot of work involved in this right now. All right.
Right, thank you, David.
Yeah, thank you.
And MST mobility update, Christy.
Okay, just again, good afternoon. So in our Navigator volunteer program, right now we have 3 active volunteers. We continue to recruit for volunteers. It is open to youth age 16 and 16 to 18, and then anyone older. So if you know of anybody who's interested in volunteering for transportation, have them reach out to us. In our taxi voucher program, MST's current fiscal year will end the end of June and then start July 1st, which means that our current taxi vouchers will expire by the end of June, and we are working on getting the new ones, and that should be available by July 1st. I mentioned this, I think, previous meeting, 2 meetings ago, that our taxi ADA sensitivity certification training TACT transitioned from virtual to in-person. That transition started back in February. Since we have certified 33 taxi drivers, 6 were new, and then 27 recertification. And then there are total active certified taxi ADA taxi drivers. There's a total of 85 that's operating in the county right now. Last week, Wednesday, the 21st, we did host our Senior Transit Day. And we had 10 different resource providers who participated. And I do want to say thank you to the Military and Veterans Affairs Office, Blue Zone, Loaves and Fishes, the Blind and Visually Impaired Center, ITN Monterey, Deaf and Hard of Hearing, Alliance on Aging, Monterey County Social Services Department, Legal Services for Seniors, and the Health Project Center. We had few seniors who attended. We also partnered with the Monterey County Food Bank, where we were able to distribute some food items as well to those who attended. And then just a friendly reminder, if you haven't completed your ethics training or your Form 700, please reach out to Ruben. He can help you with getting that completed, as that is a requirement part of your membership. And then I do want to call on Kevin to talk to you about, David had mentioned it earlier, that our contract with MV is transitioning to TransDev, and this directly affects our MST rights program. So I'd like to call on Kevin to kind of give the membership here information about what's happening within that program or within the contract.
All right, Chair, members of the committee, my name is Kevin Allshouse, Contract Services Manager for MST. So the current contract with MV started in July 1st of 22. About February, March of 2023, MV contacted us to try to renegotiate the rates. And we kind of had 2 options at that point. We could renegotiate with MV, or we could go back out to bid. And ultimately, we decided that that was the better option. And so what we did is we issued a request for proposals in July of last year. We received 3 bids. We scored, there was a review committee that looked at the technical proposals and scored those. And then we also had an interview for the 3 companies that bid. Took all those scores together, and then we made a recommendation to the board, and that recommendation was approved in February of this year. And so, yeah, as David mentioned, TransDev got the contract. They will be starting July 1st. They will be taking over paratransit, roughly 19 or so fixed route lines. And of course, the special medical trips as well. We're also looking at NEMT as well. But the one thing that will not be there is, and you guys are all aware of this, is the on-call. So on-call will be discontinued June 27th, actually. Yeah, so June 27th of this year, there will be no more on-call. The three other, there was on-call for 4 cities. The 3 of the other cities have already transitioned over to circulator routes. So anyways, yeah, so Greenfield, they've got their on-call that is still ongoing, but that's going to be discontinued June 27th. So yeah, at that point, July 1st, Transdev will take over. Big company, they've got a lot of contracts in California, across the country, internationally. So yeah, as David mentioned, it's a big undertaking transitioning from one contractor to another, but we're all doing the best we can, hoping for a smooth transition on July 1st. And yeah, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Can you tell us how would this directly affect our customers?
Hopefully, it doesn't affect them at all. From their perspective, not much is going to change. They'll be able to, make reservations. So say that, the week before Transdev takes over, MV will continue to take reservations. We're using the same software that right now. So everything is going to be able to be transferred over basically, into Transdev's care. And from the customer perspective, I don't think they're going to see much change. Yeah, because they'll be able to call the same numbers. The drivers will mostly all be the same vehicles. Uniforms will be a little bit different, but other than that, there's not going to be much change from the customer perspective.
Any other questions? Right.
If I could just interject too, as I want to let everybody know too, MV is working really well with Transdev at the moment. There's no animosity between the two. We're not battling it out or anything like that. We're doing everything we can to help with that smooth transition. So, we're looking out after our customers as well and working with Kevin closely to make sure this goes without a hitch, when the phone lines switch over at midnight on July 1st, that our customers will not see any difference with the service that they're getting. Like Kevin said, they'll have same drivers, same dispatchers they've been talking to, so everything should go smooth. It's just all the other things behind the scenes that needs to be worked out, but customer wise, everything should go off very smooth.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, thank you. All right, item 7, announcements and appreciations.
Chair, before we move on, can I just say something to David? Is this going to be your last time
I do
joining
not know
this
yet.
committee? Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, that's
Okay.
still
I was wondering
being,
about
that's
that.
still up in the air.
Okay, okay.
I'm hoping that this is not my last.
Okay.
All right, for announcements and appreciations, I do just want to say thank you for having, the Blind and Visually Impaired Center at the Senior Transit Day last Wednesday. Good outreach, good support for the community for us, and, thank you, Ruben, thank you, Christy, for putting on the events. It's a good turnout.
You're welcome.
And for me, I want to say thank you as well for having us, and for the Older Americans Act. We ended up having 75 people show up at the committee, the council, so it was a good little turnout that we had. And the only thing is that on that day that we had for MST for the buses on the rides, Soledad seniors called in. They wanted to know why we didn't pick them up. We told them it was too far of they had to walk to the bus 23 bus stop, and it was too far for them to walk. Some of them did have the oxygen tanks, so they couldn't walk as far. But we did apologize, and they wanted to see when they could talk to MST to fix the bus stop, closer route for them. But yeah, other than that, it was good turnout. We had good turn.
We have Michelle Overmeyer here. She's our Director of Planning and Innovation. You mentioned the seniors. So I guess just for context, MST partnered with Alliance on Aging to provide transportation from King City and Greenfield to pick up seniors to take to the County Board of Supervisors meeting on May 6th. May 6th. To show support for Alliance on Aging being recognized as a provider for seniors within our county, and received a resolution. You mentioned the seniors in Soledad wanted to voice out their concerns about the bus stops not close enough. What would be the avenue for that, Michelle?
Hello, committee members, Michelle Overmeyer. So we did design line 32, which is the local circulator in Soledad. We spent several years working with the city staff to design this route that would have stops throughout the city that most people can walk to, so within a quarter-mile walk. And then line 32 has connections, timed connections to line 23. So if they have, if these seniors have specific requests, you can send them to me and we can look into them. We did have a number of bus stops that we had asked the city if we could put in, and they said no. So it could be that maybe it's in an area where we weren't permitted to install a bus stop.
Yeah, because they did want one like in front of their house, their senior, well, the senior committee, the city senior living, and they were hoping to get one at least close by to there. The one closest to them was like 2 blocks away, and it was a little bit harder for them to get to, because they don't have. I told them they don't have problem going to the community center, which just across the street, and the parking. They could go there, but anywhere else it would be a little bit further for them.
Rides is also available in Soledad. They could get rides
Yeah.
a trip over to the line 23 bus stop, but I can talk with you after the meeting for the details.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Steven. Yes. I just want to make a plug. TAMC has been the Transportation Agency for Monterey County, TAMC, has been kicking off workshops all around the county for the countywide regional Vision Zero plan, which the plan is to address road fatalities and injuries with the idea that we get this number to zero, since in the past 5 years the county has lost 230 lives in the past 5 years for traffic related incidents or crashes. So we have a survey out on our website. If you do a quick Google search Monterey County Regional Vision Zero Plan, it'll take you there. And we'd like to get feedback from everybody, especially the senior and disability community as well. Since road safety affects all users, not just drivers, pedestrians, bicyclists, etc. And we do have a workshop this evening in King City at City Council chambers, and then there's one more tomorrow for Delray Oaks and Sand City at the Delray Oaks City Council chambers. But there's more on our website. So, but if you can't make it, we do have our survey on our website, so we encourage everyone to take the survey.
Thank you. All right, subject item request for the next meeting is due by July 15th. The next meeting scheduled date is July 30th. And it is 2:49 and we will adjourn the meeting.